Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Trunkhead with Trunkhead Gaming. Today is the Division 4 and 5 recap. Week 2. Superfed is actually with us today. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
He made me do the first couple weeks by myself. I don't appreciate that, so I'm gonna make you do all the work today.
Sounds good.
As always, we're gonna start reviewing the games of Division 5 here. So let's start with Cash Crew Part 2, 2-0 to versus Panicky Party. That was a admin. So we'll skip down to that's an admin. So Secret of My Sets versus Temples of Aurora, 1-1. That's what we're looking at right there.
There we go.
12 armor breaks to 1 armor break. God damn, man. The fucking orcs put some pounding on him there.
And it doesn't look like this, but this was going to be my highlight match in a little bit. But basically, on paper, the statistics wise, it should have been just a real big blowout in the orcs' favor. But the elves put up a clinic as far as how to play defense without getting hit too bad.
I mean, they only hit 24 blocks back, so they weren't hitting back. The orcs were hitting them pretty hard with 38 successful blocks, 4 KOs, two Kazes there. So the elves got beat up a little bit.
Even with all those removals, though, they really didn't give the orcs an inch for the first 8 turns. Barely got across the pitch.
Looks like the orcs gonna rock. Let's see. I can't do math right now. 4, 8, 10. Yeah, 13 and 9. And you cast this game right on your channel?
I did, yes.
So we will post this. We'll post Superfed's YouTube channel in the description here. So if you want to watch this game, go and do that. Let's go and do that. What do we got next? What do we got next? Go ahead.
It's the Necronomic Newbies and the Nurgle FTDs. And the Necronomic Newbies won that one 1-0.
1-0 sounds like a boring game to me. 6 armor breaks for 6 armor breaks. That's not a lot of hitting, it looks like. Not a lot of hitting, only one pass and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, 55 successful blocks, so a lot of pushing probably for the Nurgle team.
Yeah, that's brutal. 55 and only 4 KOs. Like you didn't get any action there. That's
Claw looks like it did a thing. I would guess Claw did a thing, and that's where those injuries came from.
Does he have Claw? Does he have Claw yet? Let's check him out real fast. I'm gonna check out Nurgle FTDs. I'm gonna see what you know talking about. High Lord Salt. Do you have any?
Oh no, I was talking about the Necro team.
Oh, the Necro team, of course. All right. So that was 1-0. The Nurgle actually got a pass in that game. Would be interesting to see how that worked out. So good for him. 1-0. How now, Brown Drow versus Havoc's Henchmen. Chaos versus Dark Elves. I love the How Now Brown Drow team just because the name's cool, and I believe that's Phaedrus is that coach there.
That's correct.
And he played. Did he play in your division last year? I want to say he played Undead last year and made the playoffs, didn't he? I feel like he made the playoffs, and then changed his team for some reason.
Yeah, he was in not my division, but it was 4 or 5. I want to say.
Got an MVP on a lineman. That lineman, I bet you. I'm gonna just open this lineman up. Bet you that lineman's got 3 MVPs. Sure as shit. Three MVPs and a touchdown. That sucks. And he made him his kicker, so that's a lot of wasted SPP right there. The Chaos team outpassed the Dark Elf team. 2 passes.
Got to get those SPP somehow on Chaos.
That's nuts. Let's check out the stats real fast. And fucking Dark Elves almost out hit him, only missed him by 2, and they did cause more injuries. So that's an unusual game for Chaos. They had a rough one there, looks like. What's next? Pandemonium Burgers and the Skinky Island Boys. Skinky Island Boys. I know you weren't here for the preview show. I don't know if you managed to catch it or not. I love this fucking Lizard team. I think we're going to talk about them later.
Yeah, and they are just in control of this division. I think they're the early favorites for playoffs.
So they laid 16 armor breaks on Chaos. That is 16 armor breaks on 50 blocks. That is some beating up right there. Holy cow. Look at this SPP for Skinky Island Boys.
The thing that really stands out is the expulsion. So a fouling lizard team is something that you don't see very often either.
Yeah, they don't have the best foulers. I remember one time I played Guinness. Guinness is the defending World Cup champion, and it was on before the latter days, so it was just on the Open League. And he had a sneaky get dirty player skink, and I stabbed that fucker to death with my with my knife with my stab assassin guy, and he immediately quit. I don't like getting fouled by skinks. So
Oh, pixel huggers.
yeah, yeah, he's definitely pixel hugger. And then we'll wrap this first up. Drac World Day Laborers, which are humans, versus Undead, which are probably my two favorite teams in the game. And it looks like they battle out to a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, that was another close one turn to win the game for the Undead team, and they just couldn't get the pass off, but they got all the blocks.
Wait, Undead got the blocks out? They need to do 4 pushes for that, for move 7.
Hmm.
That's impressive. So, Dimensional C137. That's actually the team I'm going to review here in a little bit. We're going to go over that. So that's the team I picked to go over today. But it looks like he got 8. And Day Laborers, they rocked 12. So 53 blocks for Dimensions for the Undead team, but no injuries inflicted. And when you're hitting, you have at least 2 Mighty Blow, because your mummies have Mighty Blow. I don't know if he's got any more than that. And only 1 KO. That is some fucking
And
amazing armor.
they got very outblocked in their first game too. So this Undead team is just off to a very slow start.
Yeah, that's unusual. Man, this coach just needs to keep hitting 53 blocks. Like you should be getting better scores than that. That is really really unlucky. But the human teams, 43 blocks for a human team is pretty solid. And these 2 injuries, I'd be interested to see where they're at. But my guess is they're probably on the 87 goals. Let's go over the leaderboard real fast, shall we?
Absolutely.
So the dwarf here, he got can you say this guy's name? He's active on Discord. He's kind of a cool cat, but I can't say his name.
Chaosu Baloo.
Baloo. Brother, if you want us to say your name correctly, you need to send us a send us a message with the phonetic spelling of that. He had a bye week, so he had a free win. Skinky Island Boys by Weave. Like I said, like you said, I think this fucking team's gonna be nasty. And then here's my squad right here. Cash True Part 2 by JJ Cash. You know me, I love the human teams. So those are your undefeated leaders of
Yeah,
group.
yeah, especially winning human teams.
All right. What else we got? We got we got some one-on-ones here. Hipster and Phaedrus, the elf teams. And then both chaos
And
teams.
both those coaches are.
I don't know anything about Hipster. You watched that game. How do you do?
I thought he played just textbook elf defense and good 2-turn pass, the standard high elf, make a cross field play to get a 2-turn score. So he knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna check that guy out. Then we got Chaos, both a 1-1 records. Mod Dave and Zinnik, and Necromantic. Secret of my success, Rusty Seabutter. He's got 2 draws. I feel for you, Rusty Seabutter, because my human squad in Division 1, I have fucking 3 draws now. So I feel you right there. That's frustrating. And then more humans.
That's just 1 win. I mean, if you look at it a different way.
Yeah, 1 win and then 2 games, then 2 losses. If you want to look at it that way.
Sure.
Tommy Too Tall. If you keep hitting people, you won't be 0-1-1 for long. I think. I mean, you threw the blocks. And then High Lord Salt. He's the only one with 2 losses there. So we'll talk about him in a little bit. Let's go into team review. My team that I wanted to review this week is the Lizard. Where am I at? Dimension C137. I wanted to go over the Undead Squad. That you says hit people but don't hurt anybody.
Yep.
So let's go over the team roster here. Looks like Morty here. His mummy. He's got some hits. He's got 1 MVP and 2 casualties. So that's your only hitter right there, right?
Yeah, I see all those MVPs going to the zombies, and that's the trag.
Yeah. So he's played. How many games has he played? He's got 4 MVPs on zombies. So he has played 6 games. So 66% of his MVPs are on zombies. And brother, I feel for you. I have a Necro team in a different league. I remember last season I played 10 games and 8 of my MVPs went to zombies. It's the worst.
I like 2 dirty players though. That's sending a message.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do with them, right? What else are you gonna do with them? And here's the other
I
thing.
mean, you can get kick, you can get more block, but yeah.
Yeah, So philosophically, I just like dirty players in my zombies, and if they get more than one skill, I usually fire them. So that's one way of doing it. The other way you can do it is you can get the block route, block fend, it's a very strong combination. It depends on philosophically where you want to do it. If you want to carry all of your TV and your big pieces, you can kind of keep your TV in the middle, right? Like so, even if you developed your mummies and your whites and your ghouls a little bit, and if you keep your zombies one skill or no skills, then you're very TV efficient. So that's the way to go. I like the dirty player, especially since he's not hurting anybody. Um, he's not causing any casualties.
Right.
And undead needs to remove people. That's how they win games. Uh,
Absolutely.
I don't know. So I know you're gonna try and cast one of these games every time. I wouldn't mind seeing him play. I want to see Tommy Too Tall cast at his games. Um, I play undead. I play undead in clan, which just started up. And like I tell people all the time, the way when you're undead, you gotta keep your mummies together, and when undead loses games, their mummies get separated. So I want to see how he does with that.
That's smart. Yeah.
All right, so these ghouls right here, this guy here, he's gonna be your ball carrier, Beth, um, and then you got a sacker, and then I don't know what Jerry's gonna do, but he just needs a vanity pass. So undead, I like to keep my ghouls very lean. Like I said, I like to carry all my TV, my mummies, and my whites. So like this ghoul here, Beth, I would just give Beth sure hands and then be done with them. And then Summer, I would give tackle and then be done with them. And then Jerry, whatever I wanted to do. Um, that's how I run it. I don't know. Do you play any undead at all, or do you just play orcs?
I do. I play all the bash teams. I've pretty much given up on all agility. I did a Skaven league, and I'm done with that forever. But I with the ghouls. I mean, you've got the agility access. I'm a sucker for a good diving tackle sidestep piece that you just put on the enemy ball carrier and hope that they don't get killed. Um, and that generally works, especially against Skaven and Elf teams. When you don't have that whole lot of tackle, your whites will get tackle. You'll have the wrestle tackle ghoul, but it's good to have that one diving tackle piece that you can kind of get involved on the ball carrier.
Yeah, I like the diving tackle too. The problem with undead diving tackle guys is that they're AV7. They don't last very long. So
Yep.
you need to
Yep.
have two of them. A diving tackle
Well, and
guy.
you get
Go ahead.
you get four ghouls usually. So you can have that safe ball carrier, the ball hawk, and then you've got two extra ones that you could put in that diving tackle role.
Yeah, and he's got the money. He's got 1,300 saved up, so I wouldn't mind seeing him get another ghoul. Get Jerry his vanity pass, get him a touchdown, whatever, get him block and get him diving tackle. Like that's a good call. Usually you would get a skeleton right about now for fouling, but you already have two dirty player zombies, so I don't know how much good a skeleton's gonna do you. All right, who do you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure, we can change. Let's go to. Well, I just cast them and talked about them a bunch, so let's go ahead and keep talking about Templars of Aurora, the High Elf team.
Templar, there we are. 1310 high elf team, the hipster.
Yeah, and he's got some injuries already, and that's not uncommon for High Elves to play through the injuries. They're very expensive pieces. Losing the movement on both of them isn't a game breaker. Generally, your blitzer, yeah, I mean, you're going to want to replace them soon, but you've got other things. Generally, you want to have all your catchers up if you're going to run four catchers. And you can always get that second passer too, have one be a defensive piece and one that stays on the pitch on offense only. You liked the sure hands. In your recap, you mentioned sure hands first. I personally don't, just because usually you're not going to be, worried about strip ball on the high elf team, but you are going to want to pass the ball with a little bit more accuracy. And he's already been throwing some 3+ and 4+ passes. So if he had accurate, I think that would be a little bit more useful.
Yeah, it really depends on how he uses this guy. How High Phoenix Tarsus, whatever his name is, Takers. It depends on how he uses him. If he's throwing him, and a lot of high elf coaches, you'll see they do that. They'll sit way in the back, and then they'll try and negotiate the field, and then they'll just fucking wing that ball. If he's throwing the ball, then yeah, he needs to pick up some pass plays. But he's only 2 SPP. One thing I noticed right off the bat is he's got two players that are touchdown away from leading a level, a blitzer and a thrower. And then he's not very far from a bunch of these guys. This Leo shoots the Prowler. He's only a touchdown away from a level 2. So he is only a game or two away from exploding
Hmm.
and becoming really, really difficult to deal with.
And that plus movement catcher is going to be, I think, for this later on once he gets a couple skills, dodge and block, and maybe sprint. Maybe he gets sprint ahead of block and just really does have that one turn threat. He was so close to pulling off the one turn, and that was with the movement one on the sideline. He was doing that with movement 8.
Yeah, I saw the highlight, and like I said, we'll post a video. We'll put the link in the video in my description. But I want this move 9 guy. Like lots of people, and I know you just said it. Lots of people like to go sprint and sure feet. I don't like to do that. And the reason I don't like to do that because then it's a one-dimensional piece, and he's already 120 TV. You don't want to have a piece that only runs the ball. So like me, I get the dodge, and I'd probably get either wrestle or tackle or block. I would do something like that. I would not go sprint sure feet because it's one turn is easy enough. You only need 2 pushes, especially if he's got agility access. He's gonna end up a sidestep. It's gonna be even easier. I don't want to pigeonhole him into that one spot, but I'm gonna be interested to see what he does, man, because this is an important piece. Like this is gonna be his anchor piece on this team, and it's gonna win him some
Yeah.
games.
Well, and you can always go the ball hawk route. I mean, he's basically a war dancer, just lacking skills right now. And so if you've got a movement 9 ball hawk with wrestle, tackle, and maybe leap, he can get anywhere on the pitch, and there's nowhere that you can hide. I do like, though, having, if you're going to have a one-dimensional piece with your 4 positionals, if he picks up that 4th catcher, basically that's gutter runner at that point. And you do see a lot of, one-turn gutter runners, and they're very coveted.
Yeah, well for sure, but those guys are move 10. He needs to get another move guy.
Right, right.
So if he
Yeah.
got move 10,
And then he's got the guard, which, guard on a high elf team is super, super valuable. He's going to want to get that piece leveled up. He's just 4 SPP away from that. So I would make sure to get probably block or dodge on that piece as soon as you can to keep him alive. But he's going to be targeted.
philosophically, I always go dodge first on any elf position. Doesn't matter what elves, dark elves or high elves. And the reason I go dodge first is because you, especially on guard, you need to be able to reposition it. Like getting hit, it doesn't matter whether you have block or dodge, as long as you have one of them. Just it's the same percentage, um, unless you're getting hit by attacker
Right.
piece, of course. So for me, if when I build an elf team and I got a couple dark elf teams, when I get guard, my first skill is always dodge because then I can reposition that guy wherever I need to a lot easier and a lot safer. But yeah, that's an awesome piece. And he's like I said, I would get that right away. I get this touchdown on Leo the Prowler, and he's only 1,000 away from his 4th catcher. So get that touchdown or get these skills up there, man. He's gonna be real nasty. Hipster's gonna be real nasty.
Do you fire the busted lineman with dodge?
No, I don't. High elves are expensive, man, and yet they're hard to replace. And there's some bash in this team and bash in this division, and I think you want to have as many guys as possible because you're going to get attrition. You watch those guys, watch the high elf coaches in Division 2 and Division 3, they're struggling to keep pieces on the board. So I don't think you blow anybody for just a movement bust. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, and upcoming matches he's going to be fouled even more, so that makes sense.
Well, let's do it. Let's talk about next week's schedule. The crew, let's see what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, that's too far. There we go. Havoc's Henchmen and Crash Crew Part 2. That's the game that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to cover. Look at these guys. Havoc's Henchmen are Chaos, and they're in the middle of the board. The Zenek, 1-on-1, and then Cash Crew Part 2, JJ Cash. He's on top. It's Humans versus Chaos. I think Humans are favored in Chaos matches until Chaos gets to be about 1,700. I think the Humans are a pretty big favorite in this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that here. The Chaos team is about 50-50 on their performances, not just in the results, but also in the way the dice have gone. And just, they were in complete control week 1. Week 2 seemed to really get away from them. Cash Crew has been a little bit more consistent, and I think that that's going to play through in the results.
Yeah, Crew looks good too. He's got a blitzer that's waiting for his level. He's got another blitzer who's only 1 SPP away. I would imagine both these guys go guard. And he's got a Mighty Blow guy, man. Mighty Blow guy against Beastman is really good. And how's Havoc Henchman doing? 1,100 Chaos. They don't really have a lot of tools. He does have that Strength 5 Warrior who's only 1 away. from whatever
And
he
that should be your
sees.
goal. I mean, your season is all about building. Unless you're the sage, your first season is just trying to get as many skills as you can. And so, with a piece like that, you want to get them levels, feed them the ball, try and make some passes. Don't give away the game because you want those touchdowns too. But make sure you've got a good mindset because it's going to be rough for you.
Yeah, man, he's AG3 though, so he can pick up the ball and throw it. I'd try to get that vanity pass, and then I'm interested to see what he does. Does he go straight for tentacles? Does he go for block first? Does he go make him into a hitter with mighty blow? I'm interested to see what he does with that. All right, Skinky Island Boys, Nurgle FTDs is coming up. Which one of these games do you want to talk about?
Um, I don't want to keep talking about the High Elves. I do think they'll have a good game against the Necro team, the Necromantic newbies. But I am interested to see how the Undead team, Dimension C137, plays against the Orcs. They've been unable so far to bash lizards and unable to bash humans. Will they be able to bash orcs? Or in this case, be able to outrun them because they've got the whites and the ghouls to do that.
Yeah, early orc versus early undead is a very interesting matchup. Um, it's difficult. It's actually harder for the undead than you think because it's hard to remove orcs. They just stay on the fucking
Hmm.
edge.
And
Um,
they've got a number of block pieces, so it's not easy.
yeah, not only that, but this orc guy, Rusty Seabutter, he's got two Blodge Blitzers. So, and there's no tackle on that undead team.
Yeah.
That's gonna be nasty. And he's got a troll, and he's got a goblin called Never Login. Blue balls and Never Login. All right. So that's what we're looking at. I like that matchup too. That's a bash on bash, um, and that might come down to the coin toss. Who gets to hit first? All right, let's wrap up Division 5 and move on to Division 4. Division 4, some of you guys have already played your Week 3 games. I'm not going to talk about them because we're not there yet. So let's go over last week's score. Rebel Invasion versus Resistance is Feudal. This is Squiggy versus Shiggy, which is easy to say. Shiggy didn't show up, so that was an admin concede. Um, Lizard Beast won in one Gambas Gits, which is impressive because Gambas Gits team is nasty. Real nasty. Baywatch Knights 1-0 against Unlucky Skull Skull. I'm not sure who Baywatch Knights is, but that's Unlucky Skull Skull is King of Cosmos. And Kemri. Typos Happen is Kakingrad. Ace and Company is Quicks. So 1-0 there. Horrible Cliches 1-1 Iron Maiden. That's Dark Elves versus Kemri. Carnival Freak Show versus Communist Frat Party. That's a human team. I love it. And then Unaccompanied Minos 2-bode KNG, which is Warboss
That
Zagrod.
was a Chaos Dwarf. Yeah, that was a Chaos Dwarf mirror match, and that was actually the video I did today.
Oh,
So I can talk about that a little later.
so that's the one we got to see. KNG. So would you watch that game? KNG um, looks like he had more armor breaks and lost the game 2-0. He had a death too. That's no good.
Yeah, the amount of armor breaks for what is it, the unaccompanied minnows was very low, but they were super effective.
Yeah,
Was
that's
I want to say 4 armor breaks, and 3 of them were cat and 1 death.
yeah. So he had 0 KOs, two injuries, and 1 Kaz. And they threw almost the exact same level of blocks. So KNG, Warboss Zagrod, he only so they both had the same number of basically of casualties, but 2 of these are KOs for KNG. Only 1 injury. So Unaccompanied Minos had the better end of the kill dice apparently. It held onto the ball a lot more. Look at that, 50% ball
Yeah.
position, 18.
The main takeaway, and you can of course watch the video on my channel, which we mentioned we're linking on it later. But KNG got a bribe. Unaccompanied minnows had 2 extra players, so there's a little bit of a TV difference there. And with the bribe, there was not a single foul in the first half, so it pretty much just went to waste. And the one time he did foul, he got caught by the ref. So it just really was 100,000 gold that went nowhere and didn't do anything. And then he made a blitz with the ball carrier that was Dub Scold and handed the ball to the Bull Centaur on the other team, who made a 6+ catch and ran back, and that's why it was 2-0.
That's brutal. And even worse for Warboss, for kills you too fast. His Hobgoblin, his dead Hobgoblin, got the MVP.
Yep.
That,
Injury to insult.
yeah, that's hard on a developing team to lose that MVP up there. That's really Really, really rough. And these other games, there's games you want to look at real fast. You want to look in here. I want to check out Horrible Cliches and Iron Maiden real fast. Iron Maiden, 15 armor breaks, 2 expulsions. This is Gengar. He will foul the shit out of you. He will foul you every time you hit the ground. So 2 expulsions is not unsurprising. And 1 death on the Dark Elf team. That's brutal.
They're very expensive deaths when you're on your Dark Elves die. But on the bright side, that's the last time that he has to deal with Kimry. Or no, he has one more Kimry coach.
Yeah,
That's true.
there's one more, and this is a bad. I mean, there's 3 Chaos Dwarfs, 2 Camrys. Like there's bash in this fucking division. This guy right here, he got the MVP. Don't you die on me. He got the MVP. He now at 21 of 16 there, so he's a badass looking little blitzer.
The Blood strip ball. That is gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. 1 death, 3 passes. I like that. Touchdowns. 16 successful blocks for Horrible Cliches versus 36 for Iron Maiden. 16. That's one of the lowest numbers I've seen in a long time. That's a Wood Elf number right there.
Yeah.
All right. Any of these things you want to look at, or you want to move on?
No, I'm good to move on.
All right. Let's talk about the leaderboard real fast. And some of these guys have played more of the games than they're split of. So Iron Maiden, Rebel Invasion, they played their week 3 game already. Also, Ace Trucking Company and Horrible Cliches. No. Who did Ace Trucking Company play?
Communist Frat Party.
Communist Frat Party. All right, so they've all played extra games. So their Communist Frat Party looks like they lost that game. We'll talk about that later. So they were 2-0. Gengar and Squiggy. Look, these names in this fucking division. I don't know if you know these guys, but Nocturnal was Division 2 last year. Gengar was a playoff coach from G-Man. Squiggy is the founder of the Rebel Rookie League. Kicking Grad is one of the best Rebels and also a member of the REL clan now. So he's one of my teammates. Quix was a Division 1 coach last year. Raven Poe. I mean, these are fucking great coaches in this division.
So. And Debt Monkey played Chaos Dwarves very well. So I definitely think this division is a lot closer than you might have, or a lot of people would have probably originally guessed. And the results are kind of showing that too. I mean, there's no one that's clearly running away with it. The coaches that were in here that have returning teams, have a good TV advantage to start, but they're playing right in line with these other coaches that are returning. So it's anybody's division to win.
Yeah, this is going to be tight. This division is going to be tight all the way to the end. There's only one playoff spot, and imagine with all this bash in here, whoever gets that playoff spot, they're going to limp into the playoffs. that's my prediction. I'm gonna check out Lizard Beast. We're going to cover Lizard Beast this week. I'm with Kiwi Bird 44, who I know absolutely nothing about, which is part of the reason I picked him. I know a lot of these coaches, but I don't know Kiwi Bird, so I want to check him out.
Well, I can help because I played him twice. He was in my division last year, and I got to play one of my spins against him.
Good coach.
Fun Kiwi Bird fact. He was one of the best at guessing the results of the playoffs. He won a Steam card, I believe.
Is he the one that picked all the elves? Just like booked elves the
A
whole way
lot
through?
of the elves, yeah. Yeah.
We were calling him like the prophet or something like that because he was picking, he picked the Sage to lose, the Stoudicus, like all kinds of crazy stuff. What do we got here? So he's got some good looking Saurus already. I'm digging this squad, right? He's got a Niggalon King Croc. That's not the best in the world, but not the worst because he's strength 5.
That Crocs is killed the tree, so that Crocs has a little bit of history. He killed Stoudicus's tree the first time, which has been already killed twice, and I think he's missing again.
Yeah, Stoudicus's squad is not in good shape right now. So King Croc the Tree Killer. We'll call him King Croc the Lumberjack, maybe?
Yeah, I like it.
I'm the Lumberjack. And he's got 4 swords with block. One of them's got guard, and one's got mighty blow. And this mighty blow guy, he's almost ready to go on to tackle. Like he's gonna be nasty. This squad's
good Saurus development, and I don't even think he's really getting touchdowns with these. I think those are just removals.
So he is a bash coach, and he's got two more Saurus that are only 1 injury away from level. This guy right here, Tazokla. I mean, I hate it when people don't name their fucking Saurus. This guy, he just needs an injury, and he's gonna get block. And then this block guy, Tyra of Chaka, he just needs an injury, and I don't know what he's gonna do with him. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I would probably I like to get your guard on your Croxagore and then 2 guard Saurus, and then the rest you get to be your fun stuff. So that's where you get your tackle. Obviously, you need your tackle, but you get your Frenzy and your Mighty Blow and your Break Tackle.
I love break tackle. I'm not the I've only played maybe a grand total of 7 lizard games in my life. I basically count all my lizard advice from Horny Cricket. I say, Cricket, how do I build this team? And he would tell me because I don't have much experience with them. I know that these skinks down. I know that an AG4 skink is nasty as fuck because I've had to fight him before. And he's got what's he got? Sure feet there. Yeah. So this is the one turner right here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things you can really get when you don't get doubles. So you're not going to fire that AG4 piece. So yeah, Sure Feet's a safe bet. Obviously, Sprint's going to go right along with that. He could have got catch. He's got a lack of catch for. I mean, his skinks are nice and trim, so that's good. But usually, you'll see 1 or 2 catch pieces, and that'll allow you to do the chain handoff play to score very, very quickly. But he doesn't necessarily need it with that Agi4. It just is nice when it's turn 8 and you've used all your rerolls for that half, and you're a 1 or 2 turn score.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, if I'm building that guy and I have AG4, do I really want to get catch? Like, 'cause this is an opportunity to not get catch. You already have the sidestep. I like the sure feet. You're probably gonna get sprint there. Like I said, I think he's probably going right there. You might get catch later on if you don't get any doubles. Um, After you get your sure feet, what else can you get? Right, you only have agility access.
Right,
So maybe
right.
that's last. And he's got 2 side steps with dive and tackle. Like, what else do you do with a skank? So this is a good looking team, man. This guy's only a vanity pass away. This guy's only a touchdown away. He's got to be careful. He's carrying a lot of TVs and skinks already. Like this AG4 guy, he's 1400 and there's another 1000. Um, you have to be careful about overloading your skinks, your TV on skinks. But I think he's got a good team, man. I'm excited about this guy.
And he's got to be doubly careful because he's playing against a bunch of fresh teams that he's got a full season under his belt. So every inducement that he gives away could be a bigger one. And, if he bloats up his skinks too much, he might be facing a morgue or something even worse.
Yeah, and I face morgue. That's not fun. It's not fun. He scores one score a game. Let's see, 17. How many games he played? Yep, he scored exactly 1 goal a game. Looks like he's about 500 coach, so if he keeps hitting people, I think he's right about the time where he's about to start coming into his own and start fucking hurting people. All right, what do you got?
Yeah. I will talk about the Chaos Dwarf team since I just kind of spent a little bit of time on the unaccompanied minnows. I like them as probably the best Chaos Dwarf team I've seen in the REL, and I've been peeking at them because it's like I have a crush on Chaos Dwarves. I'm an orc coach, and Chaos Dwarves do a lot of things that orcs want to do and just can't do. Like black orcs are too slow, and they've got the same stats otherwise. And they got all that tackle to start, so.
I have a personal vendetta against all Chaos Dwarf coaches. I think they should all burn in a fire.
Well, yeah, I mean, they tend to go claw palm, and that tends to be just mean, especially with all that tackle. This team, though, is off to a great start. Both of the Bull Centaurs are already level 3 before any of the other pieces. Even better, all of his Hobgoblins have no skills. So as long as he can pick up the ball, and he's been able to catch the ball a lot, rolling 5s and 6s at the right times. But as long as he can get the ball onto those Bull Centaurs, they are, the perfect pieces to have all that money put into. And then he's got a claw and he's got a guard. Those are great starts for the team. But really just funneling all that SPP into the top half of his team and keeping it off those Hobgoblins. And then he's got 2 extra Hobgoblins too, just to make sure that he can foul you. And if you do manage to knock 1 or 2 of them off the pitch, he's going to have a full roster for the second half, which is so important for a bash team to not get behind in numbers. So I'm really liking the way Det Monkey is getting everything put together. Blodge on a Bull Centaur is awesome as well. I would like to see one of them be the ball carrier and then one of them be the blitzer. And I don't know if he's really decided which way he wants to go yet. he's already got a break tackle piece, so he could kind of go either way.
Yeah, so the Blodge Taurus, if he or Taurus Centaur, if he gets break tackle too, that's like the best combination ever. He gets break tackle
Mm-hmm.
next, and he'll be an unstoppable machine, and then sure hands, and he can be a hell of a ball carrier. There's a philosophical question out there. It depends on which site you go to, on whether your both senators should be ball carriers or hitters. I have no opinion on that. I did play 17 games as Chaos Dwarfs, and I started hating them about game 3 or 4. So I didn't care too much about him. I can tell you this guy,
You
I hated it.
as soon as the weather changes, you hate them. If the weather changes ever, it is not a fun team. But if you definitely got that in spades.
So I'm looking at this team. This guy here, Low King Four Paws, the claw piece. I've noticed that when I built 2 Chaos Dwarf teams, I didn't like either one of them. But when you get claw first, it's really hard to get the rest of those SPP to get to Mighty Blow. So he's going to be a slow developing piece in my experience and for other people's experiences. I might try to feed him touchdowns if you can. But one other thing I noticed is he's got 3 Chaos blockers that are only 1 injury away from getting their first kill. And that's going to be he's about to jump up in TV, and that's about to be a real nasty Chaos Dwarf team.
If he gets 3 more guard pieces on all those, that puts him probably top of Bash. Even over the Khemri. I mean, the Khemri at least have strength 5, so they can still separate the dwarves some. But when they start stacking guard on top of guard, it becomes really difficult.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt some people. There's no doubt about it. And then he's only got 1 MVP on his hobgoblins, which is that's just lucky.
Especially having 5 of them.
It looks like he had 6. Looks like somebody died here. Looks left, looks right, looks innocent, and then I don't know who this guy is, but he's a blank space. So yeah, he's got pretty lucky there. He's placed a couple of them, but they're not very expensive. They're only 40,000. He can get 3 more if he wants. You're right. This is a good looking team, man. How's he been doing? Let's see. 4-0-2, 4-0-2, and he's got 8 touchdowns. So he's got more touchdowns. He's a little more than 1 goal a game. 11 casualties, 11 casualties in 6 games. That's pretty awesome, and killed somebody. So. Det Monkey is from the Rookie League, so he's representing. There's a lot of those guys in this league, in this division, actually. All right. Let's check out the schedule for next week, shall we?
Absolutely.
Swiggy and Granger already played. Nocturnal and Quicks already played, so we won't talk about them. Unlucky Skull, KNG. That's Khemri versus Chaos Dwarf. Then Gamba's Gits versus Unaccompanied Minors, which we just talked about. That's going to be good. Just take a quick peek at Gamba's squad. It's 1430 humans, right? Check out the Mighty Blow on this guy.
Correct.
He has 5 Mighty Blow.
Well, I mean, going up against the Chaos Dwarf team, if he can punch hobgoblins, they're not going to last very long. But the dwarf should be able, with Thick Skull, to stay on the pitch.
He's also got Piling On guy, and he's got 3 guard. I mean, Gamba's team is pretty stacked. Gamba doesn't have as much time to devote to the game as he used to. Let's see here. Resistance is futile. Hopefully he gets his game in this week versus Carnival Freak Show. Lizard's Beast versus Horrible Cliches, and Baywatch Nights versus Typos Happen. I want to talk about Unlucky Skull versus KNG. That's a game I'm looking forward to. That is Warboss Zagrod, or Kills You Too Fast is his team name, and King of Cosmos. King of Cosmos is a really cool cat. So he is Khemri. This is Khemri versus Storf, and I wanted to highlight this game because it's the 2 newest teams kind of banging into each other, man.
Yeah, they might even grab the ball. Maybe.
Maybe. His King has got an AG3 skeleton. He took the AG skill up on a skeleton.
I see that all the time, actually, in the champ ladder. So,
I mean, like, I'm not a Khemri coach. I play humans, and I think Khemri is really bad matchup for humans. But I wonder if if they see an AG up, they just take it no matter where it is because they need it so bad. That's my guess.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, because being able to reroll that, I mean, and you can get sure hands on your skeleton too. So save the reroll, but. Yeah, you just want Agi up wherever you can get it, because as soon as the rain comes or anything that's going to make like a tackle zone, even trying to pick up the ball in a tackle zone is just so hard. That having just that one extra agility makes all the difference.
And you said that Warbross he took a death. Oh, and he's gonna be out of he's gonna be out as Mighty Blow Chaos blocker too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that might be, but his Bolt Senators are doing okay. That might be the difference. This guy right here, Ryu Sen, he might be the difference in that game. And this other guy, he's pretty close. So he's gonna get a loner. So he's gonna be. Their loners are
It's
high,
all
of
going to come
course.
down to positioning, and I know King Cosmos by name and reputation, so I don't imagine that he's going to really get too tripped up with his Tomb Guardian positioning, which is going to kind of negate everything that the Bull Centaur can do because they don't really get a run through the Tomb Guardians like Gutter Runners can. Only good once, so I definitely think that it's going to be an uphill battle for the Chorfs.
All right, I'm gonna check that game out. What do you got?
I am going to probably stream the Baywatch Knights versus Typos Happen. I have no idea really about either of these teams. I love watching Bretonians. I hate playing Bretonians. So I think that could be a pretty fun one.
Baywatch Knights. Where are you at, brother? Baywatch Knights. This is the Raven Poe match. The Raven Poe squad is 800 TV, and he has the money to buy more. I talked about this in the pre. He's only got 2 rerolls. He's got the dirty player. He's missing a blitzer. So I'm imagining he is. There's that tactic where you can go, you basically cut your TV
Star
out
players, yeah.
and go for star players with those guys. So I think that's what Raven Poe's doing. So I'm gonna look forward to that cast. And then he is playing Typos Happen, which I believe
Kakingrad or Kakingrad.
Kakingrad. Yeah, that's my boy right there. Kakingrad. He is.
And he's going heavy. He's already got a dirty player, so to be looking to hurt some Bretts. And actually, he's got a lot of players that are close to leveling. Who better than peasants to level up?
Yeah, they're perfect. Kakingrad is generally a rat coach. He actually went orcs because he's never played a bash team before. So he's unexperienced with the bash, when you kind of see that in his history with this team. He's a really good coach. He's just not good at. He's just not experienced enough with these guys. But I think he's coming into his own. Like you said, he's about to get some skills on these blitzers, and this is that's gonna be a fun matchup there, man. And the thing about that matchup is the Baywatch Knights. They only have 2 of their blitzers available. The other one's out.
Yeah.
And that Dauntless is key. It is so clutch against these Black Arcs.
Yeah, the Black Orcs don't have a whole lot of skill development. I mean, if I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be Black Orc touchdowns. And so if Kate can try and get some of those, I think that'll really beef up his team a lot faster. And then he just needs to get some tackle. That's really, he's got the mighty blow piece, but when you're an orc coach without tackle, you can win against teams that don't have dodge, and then when you play teams that have dodge, you really, really miss it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams, I mean, match teams just in general, start. His one saving grace in that regard is there's just not a lot of AGI teams in this division. there's
Yeah.
there's the Wood Elf, and then the Nocturnal. He doesn't carry any catchers. Um, so there's a Dark Elf and a Wood Elf coach, and that's about it, man. Everybody else is fair game. So I'm gonna look forward to that game too. I'm interested to see how the game. I want to see how Kakingrad does. And I agree with you. Black Arc touchdowns, man. They're it's only a 50% chance. So if you re-roll, 75% chance to pick up that ball.
It's the exact same as Bull Centaur. I mean, you're in the right division to get Black Orc touchdowns.
With it, that's what we got for next week. Do you have anything on the way out the door here?
No, I think that's it. Good luck, coaches.
Good luck, everybody. We will we'll put the description for Superfed's the link to Superfed's game in the description, so you can check out this cast last week. He is going to make a dedicated effort to cast 1 game from each division. So keep an eye on that. I will cast a couple of these games as I can. I've been pretty busy with my casting schedule, my work schedule. When I can, I'll do that. If you have a game you absolutely want to get cast, give us a shout, and one of us will pick it up. Maybe pick it up together. We'll figure that out. I have nothing else, man. You guys have a good day, and see ya.